Welcome all. In this video, we are going to understand about a cross comparison between what infrastructure as a service, PaaS and SaaS. The same we have already seen in the previous lecture. So in this, we are going to understand the critics, the disadvantages of each offerings and how we can better manage of those disadvantages to fit inside our architecture. So before we start, the session will going to be the last session of the module 1, that is the core understanding of the cloud as a service and Azure in specific. After this, we'll go into the second module where we'll see some practical examples and the live session on the portal. Infrastructure as a service, as we know, this is the most flexible category of the cloud services. It aims to give a complete control over the hardware that runs our application. So some of the advantages are there is no capex agility that is inbuilt. We can provision and deprovision, that is we can create and destroy the resources. Consumption based model, it is applicable here since it's an offering of the cloud. How much we will use, we'll pay for it. Skills, since this is so for the skills, we don't need a deep technical skills to deploy or use or gain the benefit of this in the public cloud. We have a cloud benefits. Under cloud benefits, we have organization can leverage the skills and expertise of the cloud provider, that is the Microsoft, GCP or Azure, to ensure the workloads are made securely and highly available. It offers the most flexibility and gives the control to configure and manage the hardware that is running the application. Now when it comes to the disadvantages, as per the shared responsibility model, the user manages and maintains the services they have provisioned, and the CSP, that is a cloud provider, manages and maintains their data center from infrastructure point of view. So another disadvantage of the infrastructure as a service is the provider security issue. Since there is a multiple tenant system under the data center of the CSP, so there might be a chances of security issues where the provider must share the infrastructure with multiple clients and the service reliability. So these drawbacks can be avoided by choosing a reliable and trustworthy provider with a solid history and the reputation. Now we'll go with the PaaS. They provide the same benefit and considered as the infrastructure, but let's look at the advantages of it. So there is no capex, there is no upfront cost. Agility is more agile than the infrastructure as a service. Consumption based model, the user pay only for what they use and operates on the OPEX model. No deep technical skills are required here again. When we consider the cloud benefits, the user can leverage the skills and the expertise of the CSP, the cloud provider, to ensure their workloads are made secure and highly available. Now in addition, users can gain access to a more cutting-edge development tools and the tool set. They then can apply these tools and the tool set across the application lifecycle, which otherwise in order to develop as a raw, it's very difficult. Increased productivity, the users can now focus more on the application development only, and the platform management is handled by the CSP. Now let's look at a disadvantage, that is the platform limitation. So there are some limitations to the cloud platform that could affect how a application runs. Any limitation that should be taken into the consideration when we are choosing for the platform as a service. As an example, suppose we are using a platform for the development of the macros, that is in Excel. Now we are limited with the functionality or the platform capacity that Excel can provide in order to develop that macros. So same way we can, and which is very rare, we can meet with some of the limitations that is provided by the cloud provider when we are doing it as a PaaS offering. Now comes the SaaS. This is a centrally hosted and managed for the end customers. Let's look into some of the advantages. No capex, more agile, pay as you go basis for the price model, flexibility. The user can access the same application data from anywhere, right from their desktop, laptop, mobiles and any other web application. Just like the PaaS, there can be a software limitation that can affect how user works. So any limitation should be taken into consideration when we are choosing for the SaaS offering. So with SaaS, we save the time and the maintenance. However, it costs in the control, security and the performance. Some of the examples are the Dropbox, Salesforce, Google Apps and others. So this concludes our core understanding of the Azure and cloud. Now feel free to revisit any of the lectures in the module 1 that is captured inside the playlist. Next module we are going to understand more with hands-on experience and other things. Thank you and stay tuned. Do subscribe the channel.